Yo, what is up YouTube? Lee the Captain here, and in today's video, I want to talk about how much will 200 render tokens potentially be worth in 2025. However, before I continue on any further, please keep in mind that these are all just hypothetical scenarios and how I am not a financial advisor. But with that being said, let's check this out right here because 200 render tokens is currently worth $840. And with that in mind, if the render token during the next bull run were to go to the price of $50, it would be around an 11.9x from here. And at that point, 200 render tokens would be worth $10,000. And personally speaking, do I think that the render token could hypothetically go to the price of $50 during the next bull run? I think it could hypothetically happen. And a major reason why I think that could happen, I think is going to boil down to the rock solid, that's what she said, fundamentals of the render network. You know, what makes the render network very special is the fact that it gives individuals the opportunity to provide unused GPU power to help projects render motion graphics and visual effects. And as a result, for these users providing unused GPU power to again help projects render motion graphics and visual effects, you know, as a result of that, they are rewarded in render tokens, which is the utility token of the render network. And personally for me, I think that the render network is clearly focused on the right market, because if we take a look at this right here, we will see that by 2030, the 3D rendering market valuation, according to Global Market Insights, is anticipated to cross $20 billion. I mean, that's insane right there. I think that the render network, again, they're focused on the right thing, they're focused on the right market. And I think that moving forward, as the rendering market continues to grow, I think so will amazing projects, much like the render network. But it doesn't end there, because the render network, it's not only just focused on rendering, because its network has other use cases as well. For instance, these use cases include markets such as augmented reality, mixed reality, gaming, medical, and even virtual reality as well. So I think that the render network, it's well diversified, it has amazing fundamentals, and I think that it has such a bright future ahead. So when I take that into consideration, I don't see why the render token during the next bull run won't hypothetically at least go to the price of $50. And now I want to take a look at the next price target for the render token, and that is the render token at the price of $75. And when it comes to this price target, do I believe that it could hypothetically reach it during the next bull run? I think it could very well happen. And a major reason why I think so is because the render network, just like I mentioned before, it has a lot of use cases. But the use cases that I'm very bullish on is the fact that the render network is heavily focused on blockchain gaming and as well as virtual reality. And if we take a look at this right here, we will see that the blockchain gaming market is anticipated to be worth over $300 billion by 2030, according to Grandview Research. So clearly, the future potential of the blockchain gaming market, it's no joke. Some people like to think that, blockchain gaming, it's done, the best days are behind it. I completely disagree. And also, when we take a look at the virtual reality market, according to the Insight Partners, it is expected that its market size would be worth over $440 billion by 2030. I mean, that's insane right there. You know, the way I view it is that the render network, they're focused on markets that have insane potential upside. But here's the thing. I think that the render network is entering at the perfect time, because when you take a look at it, right, the rendering market as of right now, not many projects are focused on that. Also, when it comes to blockchain gaming, you know, the blockchain gaming space as of right now, it's not that mature yet. You know, it's still relatively in its infancy. Furthermore, when we take a look at virtual reality, you know, a lot of projects out there that are focused on virtual reality, they're just not that good. So when I take a look at the render network, they are in a sense anticipating the wave. Because think about this, right? When these markets truly do pick off, the projects that are focused on it right now are the ones that will go along with the ride. Much like in real life. For instance, if let's say we're surfing, we're on the board, you know, if we're trying to chase the wave, there's no way we can swim faster than the waves in the ocean. That's just not possible. But if we're anticipating, we're just waiting, and then the wave comes, then we'll have a good time. Then we'll be able to catch the wave. And I think that the render network perfectly understands this concept. You know, they're not in the business of chasing trends. They're in the business of anticipating trends so that when they do come, they'll just continue to prosper as well. You know, that's a winning mentality in my opinion. And When I take that into consideration, I do believe that the Render token during the next bull run could hypothetically at least go to the price of $75. And now I want to talk about a gigantic "that's what she said" milestone for the Render token. And that is the Render token at the price of $100. And now this may seem crazy to some people because they may think that, this is so unrealistic. However, I disagree, because I think that a major contributing factor, which could very well allow for this to happen, is the fact that I do believe that the next bull run could be so legendary. And why do I say this? Because as of right now, there's more people than ever before in history owning cryptos, which is not a joke, by the way, because when you take a look at it, back in 2021, during that insane bull run at that time, there was actually over 100 million less crypto owners than today. I mean, just let that sink in, right? With that many less people, that bull run that year looked that crazy. So just imagine what the next bull run will look like, especially now that we insert, that's what she said, over 100 million new crypto owners. I mean, man, when there's this many people owning cryptocurrencies, I think that during the next bull run, the FOMO, buying pressure, buying volume, and as well as the altcoin season, I think all of that could look so unbelievably insane. And I think that when altcoins start rallying during the next bull run, I think so will amazing cryptocurrencies, much like the Render token. And also, take this into consideration, right? The Render token, considering its current circulating supply at the price of $100, would have a market cap that is approximately $50 billion less than Dogecoin's all-time high market cap. So you gotta let that sink in, right? Dogecoin, it's a meme coin. And now, of course, some people, they may argue that, hey, it's not fair to compare the Render token to Dogecoin. You know, Dogecoin has a lot more holders, more fans, the community is stronger. I get that. But here's the thing. What has more potential upside for institutional adoption? Is it the Render network or is it Dogecoin? You got to think logically, right? How is a meme coin with basically, the way I view it, zero utility, going to have any sort of future potential for institutional adoption? And of course, I get how there's Doge Chain and I get how there's the Doge card. But when it comes to those, they're not directly affiliated with Dogecoin. So I don't really see why those will be big positive contributing factors for Dogecoin moving forward. And once institutions really start adopting the Render network, there's really no telling how high it can go, because when you take a look at institutions, they have the volume, they have the capital, and they have the resources to facilitate growth at a much larger scale as opposed to the retail market, right? You know, when we take a look at Dogecoin, a lot of the growth is generated by the retail market. But when it comes to the Render token, I think that moving forward, especially in the long term, its growth is going to be largely driven through institutional adoption. So when people say that, the Render token at the price of $100 is unrealistic, I disagree. Because again, once institutions start adopting the Render network, there's no telling how high it can go. At that point, the sky's the limit. So when I take that into consideration, and when I consider just how amazing the next bull run could look like, and last but not least, when I consider the incredible A+ fundamentals of the Render network, I don't see why the Render token during the next bull run won't hypothetically at least go to the price of $100, and during the process, make all of those Render critics come running over to their girlfriend's boyfriend's grandma and start begging for that used vibrator, PS5, Xbox, and Bratwurst extender. And of course, it's a set, you know, it's all included. It's at the sale rack down at the thrift shop. Gonna be a little bit embarrassing. But yeah, besides that point, I think that the Render token is a sleeping giant. That's what she said. And if you want to check out a very interesting video, make sure to go ahead and click on this thumbnail right here. It's a very fantastic video, and I think you all would really love it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.